Good morning to day 32 on the Appalachian Trail. We are getting ready to leave the Roaring Forks shelter and headed out. We got about 7 miles today. Trail looks pretty decent. Doesn't look like too many major climbs, just the basics of what we're used to. Had a really good night at camp last night. Met some younger folks, and we have, I don't know if I can get this on camera or not. Can you hear that? Those would be the squirrels that have identified this shelter as their home. And they, oh, well, sorry, I started looking at myself in the camera. My eyes have been really puffy and getting fluid built up in them, so it's time for me to start taking allergy pills. Which some guys here last night said they started sneezing a couple days ago, and they're like, why am I sneezing? I don't have allergies. But when you're obviously immersed in the woods 24/7, you can probably develop allergies. Not sure. Mine is probably just normal stuff, so we'll take allergy pills for that. But the squirrels that were playing behind me have identified the shelter as their home, and they're just waiting for Reptile and I to leave so that they can see if we've left any crumbs behind. Gonna get on trail here in a minute and enjoy day 32. So I'm assuming this is the Roaring Forks Creek or stream, whatever they want to call it. Very pretty. Do a little water walk. How cute is that? It's adorable. Totally adorable. So today has been a day to take pictures of all the flora in the forest. Made a really bougie statement a little while ago. Said, you know, that it is like our bridge, three logs wide. No bridge. Okay. Alright, that's what it looked like. That was a bridge. But anyhow, I made a bougie statement a while back this morning that said we're blessed to be able to go on a hike in the woods and take a picture of all the flora that's blooming in the early spring in North Carolina. And so we've been stopping to take pictures of all kinds of flora today. So we've been on trail a little over 2 hours, and I think we've gone maybe 2.5 miles because I stopped to take pictures for everything. And then I realized, see how green it is? We had rain yesterday, and I think the rain really helped bring out all the flowers. But I realized that I was taking pictures the wrong way. There's my little purple and yellow flowers. But by the wrong way, I mean I was zooming out instead of zooming in. So I'm not sure any of the pictures that I've taken today are going to be useful for you guys to see. But we'll see what I can do with them. It is very hard to take pictures when the sun is glaring into your phone and you can't tell what you're taking pictures of. But been pretty cruisy this morning, the last couple hours. No major inclines, no major declines. We've been skirting around several mountain peaks, just cruising. I think they said the first 3 miles of the day was pretty cruisy, and then we'd get into some climbs. So, thought I'd share with you all some of our lovely little flora that we were finding, but all of a sudden it's just turned into green. But we've been following that, what was it called? Raging Forks Stream? Raging Forks Stream. But we're getting ready to get into Lemon Gap, and there it looks like there's a trailhead there. Which I might pause and take a little break at that point. Which is close to be our halfway mark for the day. We're definitely back into the woods from Mac's patch with the grassy knolls, and said it sounded like the sound of music. I should see the Von Trapp children frolicking over the knoll so that we can have the sounds of music. And then, who'd you think that actress was?
Carrie something. Carrie Fisher or something.
Yeah, Eldon said the actress, and the Sound of Music was Carrie Fisher. And one of the guys that we were at Max Patch with, he's like, yeah, Princess Leia. And I was like, no, you mean Julie Andrews? Carrie Fisher was not in the nanny.
Close enough.
Close enough. Yeah, the iconic role that...
Could have said Carrie Underwood.
Okay, but totally off the marker on that one too. But anyway, all right. Wasting a lot of battery here. We have no idea. Jumping up, I have no idea where we're going, how long we're going to be in the woods, our next town visit. I haven't really done any research on it. We're kind of walking blind. Oh, like there's a campsite in 7 miles. The next shelter's in 15. We're not doing 15. So we're going to be stealth camping at this campsite. I looked at the source to see if we had any water. Looks like there's 2 water sources between here and the campsite. So we'll be carrying water this afternoon. But other than that, we're kind of winging it for the next couple of days. And I guess until we get closer to Hot Springs and figure out where we can get a mail drop. Eldon's sleeping bag was supposed to be delivered yesterday. We've had no service to contact my mother and see if it actually came in or not. But once we get that shipment in, which may be into Irwin, maybe to Irwin, Tennessee, that'll give us time for it to be shipped there and us to get there. We're probably going to be sending home some stuff because it's been 32 days on trail and I have yet to wear my mid-layer. Well, I lied. I think I wore it one time at camp. I think merely because I had taken my bra off and I didn't want to just go with one layer on. Oh, he found something. Oh, look, Mom, it's a fun guy. It's a new fun guy. I haven't seen this fun guy before. All right. Cool little fun guy. Most of what we're finding are the ones on the side of the trees. But anyhow, yes, once we get his sleeping bag in and a little resupply from my mom, we're going to be sending home some stuff. If we haven't used it in the last 30 days, it's going home. And it may only be a little bit, but it's probably worth getting out of our packs. There's a few things I have in my pack that I'm probably just going to throw in a hiker box. We picked up a second lighter. We don't need a second lighter. We haven't even used the lighter that we are carrying. The igniter on our stove is working just fine, so no reason to have a second lighter. The straps for my sleeping pad, don't really need those. I don't need the straps for my quilt to attach it to my sleeping pad because I don't ever use them. It actually makes it worse. I'm very good about lifting my quilt up, rolling over, and laying my quilt back down. But apparently, according to Reptile and Apollo and Chuck, what was the third guy's name? I forgot his name.
I don't remember now.
Oh, I can't either. Sorry, I had to switch hands here. Okay, another bridge. But yes, we slept in the shelter with 3 guys last night. We all shelter camped because of the rain. And I woke up this morning and I was like, well, either nobody snored last night or I was the one that was snoring. And they were nice and polite young gentlemen, and they did not want to say that I was the one that was snoring. But Reptile had no problem being like, babe, it took you 5 minutes to fall asleep, and you snored all night long. So, that was me. I was the snorer. But anyway. Alright. We're going to get off here so I can walk a little faster and put my trekking poles back where they go before I fall over a root. And I'll keep taking pictures of all the lovely fauna that we have in North Carolina. We have, let's see, where we are in trail, I don't remember the mileage. I know it's probably going to take us 2.5 days to get into Hot Springs, because Hot Springs was about 18 something miles from the shelter this morning. And the guys were going to Hot Springs today. They were doing an 18-mile day, but we are old. But it was really sweet. Apollo, we've seen Apollo several times on trail. The only reason that we even caught up to him was because we skipped the Smokies. And his girlfriend did the trail a couple years ago. Now he's doing the trail, but his girlfriend did the trail with him through Georgia. And
Her name is Chill Out.
yeah, Chill Out. He called her Chili. But it was really funny because he kind of recognized us, really wasn't sure, and he's like, wait, you were the guys at the border when him and his girlfriend, had to depart. He was like, I love you, and of course Reptile turns around and goes, I love you too. And he said, it could have been a really emotional moment, but it made me laugh, it's kind of because he was saying goodbye to his girlfriend, but he really wasn't, because she ended up seeing her like 2 or 3 days later on the trail. She was doing trail magic. But anyway, Paolo, I was like, we were probably old enough to be your parents. And he's like, yeah, you are my parents' age. And I said, see, your parents are probably cool. Another bridge. I said, you just think that they're not cool because they're your parents. Water everywhere today. Ooh. Gosh. Oh. I fell in that little divot on the bridge. But anyhow, going back, Reptile had gone to get some water, and Apollo was getting ready to leave, and he was kind of hanging around to tell us bye, and he was wanting a picture with Apollo. But Apollo was wanting a picture with Reptile. Let me rephrase that. Anyway, he said, if you guys want to start doing 20 miles, you can be my trail parents. There's some more pretty fauna. Very cool. And a stealth campsite. But Apollo's like, yeah, if you guys want to start doing 20 miles, you can be my trail parents. And I was like, I laughed. I said, oh, that's probably not going to happen, but that's sweet. And he's like, well, he just decided to skip the trail. He's like, we can meet up again. So, good kid. Hope he makes it all the way. That's his goal. And as athletic and lanky and speedy as he is, I'm sure he will, as long as he can refrain from a major injury. So, all right. Whew, we have some major blowdown. There we go. Wowza. We have a chance of rain today, and I noticed that it's starting to cloud up a little bit. All right, y'all. I've said this like 3 times now. I really need to get off here so I can stop wasting my battery. Happy trails. We've just walked up out of Lemon Gap, and we got to Lemon Gap, and we had some great trail magic from a family from Florida. The mom and partner had done the trail, and then last year her 2 sons did the trail. And so they came back to spread the trail magic. We had pulled pork barbecue sandwiches and chips and lemonade and tea. They even had some beer. So great to meet them, and so thankful for trail magic. Ellen made a comment earlier that he's like, if we go to Lemon Gap and there's no lemons, he's like, I'm going to have a fit. Well, they had lemonade, so we got our lemons at Lemon Gap. We're about 1.25 miles past Lemon Gap. We have a 500-foot climb out of Lemon Gap. And this is our last chance to get water. So Eldon went down that trail. If you can see, that trail goes downhill. He went down the trail to get water in our water bladder. And because we're stealth camping tonight. So it's going to be a need to have access to some water. It looks like the map doesn't show water for another 4 miles. Doesn't mean that there's not going to be a water source, but just not a reliable one. they put on the far out map. So we're going to fill up the bladder and get some water. But so thankful to get some trail magic. That was a blessing. That was like our 4th trail magic. We've been on trail for 32 days. And that was great. It's beautiful. That rain we had yesterday has just got all the flowers blooming. And we've seen quite a bit more wildlife today. So we're supposed to get more rain. I don't know if you can tell. We have a slightly blue skies, but slightly gray clouds. It does like to spit a raindrop every now and then. But hopefully we can make it the next 2-ish miles to camp and get the tent set up before we get wet. I'll let you guys know if we make that happen. So how do you get water from a source that is just trickling down the hill? You put a leaf in it, and it makes a little spout. And Reptile dug out a little well. We were able to get water, which was good because we only had 2 liters for stealth camping tonight. So now we've cameled up. We've got about 3.5 liters of water in our bottles and about 35 ounces in our water bladder. So we should be able to make it because the next water source isn't until about 3.7 miles tomorrow. So we're going to go up to the top of this mountain and try to stealth camp. But that's how we get water from a little stream.